From roasting Hugh Jackman's superhero suit right to his face.
I actually said lavender body stocking. I guess he heard yellow and blue superhero.
To talking about Zendaya's cooking skills like it's a personal offense.
Every time she cooks, it comes millimeters from not chopping her fingers off, her hand off.
Here are 7 savage moments of the Marvel cast roasting each other to their faces, proving the Marvel cast roasts harder than Thanos snaps. But let's first start with the man who's not afraid to call out a fellow Avenger, even if that Avenger could bench press a truck. Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth have been part of Marvel for over a decade, sharing scenes, interviews, and many good laughs. But behind the laughs, Ruffalo has always been a more grounded one, while Chris never misses a chance to remind the world he's basically carved from stone. And during the Thor, Love and Thunder promo tour, that contrast hit its peak. In one interview, as Chris flexed for the camera, Mark looked over, completely straight-faced, and said, "He's all biceps and no brain. No build-up, no filter. Just a clean, perfect jab that landed with the kind of silence only real roasts create." Everyone laughed, including Chris, but you could tell that one stung a little. But Ruffalo didn't stop there. After the film was released, and didn't exactly blow audiences away, he took it further. Joking in an interview, he said, "Invite me back to the Thor franchise to save it." That's not just playful banter, that's a quiet uppercut with a smile. But he didn't stop roasting there.
Yes, I was disappointed that I wasn't in Love and Thunder.
And maybe that's what made Ruffalo's roast hit so hard, because deep down, he wasn't just clowning around. He was making a point. Chris Hemsworth has the body of a god, but Mark Ruffalo? He knows how to throw shade like one. And speaking of biceps, it turns out Thor gets humbled more than once. In a hilarious twist during a Marvel promo quiz, Chris Hemsworth found himself on the other end of the muscle jokes, and it came from the last person you'd expect. The game was simple. Marvel actors were shown close-up shots of other cast members' biceps, and they had to guess who they belonged to. Sounds easy enough when you're surrounded by superheroes, right?
Hemsworth. It's Hemsworth.
You can tell from his pointy elbow, though, that we always talk about.
Really?
There it is.
But then came a shot of some surprisingly defined arms. Chris looked at the screen, did a double take, and his eyes went wide.
What? That's RDJ? Shut up.
Since when?
Chris couldn't hide the shock, nor could anyone else. It was pure disbelief, mixed with a little playful panic. For a guy known for his own muscle mass, seeing RDJ casually flexing in secret was clearly not on his bingo card. It was one of those rare golden moments where Thor looked genuinely out-muscled. Not by the Hulk, not by Captain America, but by Iron Man.
I was like, me?
And that's the beauty of this cast. No one's ever really safe, whether it's Ruffalo jabbing at biceps or Hemsworth getting roasted by RDJ's hidden gains. Marvel's strongest power might just be their sense of humor. And of course, Tom Holland couldn't pass up the chance to roast Zendaya's cooking. In their most memorable moments interview, Tom joked about how Zendaya chops vegetables like she's seconds away from slicing her fingers off. He even mimicked her frantic hand motion, saying, "It gives me anxiety just watching."
Zendaya, every time she cooks, comes millimeters from not chopping her fingers off, her hand off. She'd be holding an onion like this, and she's like...
We're both, long story short, is we've...
Zendaya laughed it off, but Tom kept going, calling her knife skills terrifying. It was classic Tom, teasing her with a grin, knowing exactly how to get a reaction. Even in the kitchen, he stays on roast duty. No one escapes, not even Zendaya. And speaking of jokes that never die, Cap walked right into this one in Avengers. Age of Ultron, the team is in the middle of chaos, mid-battle, when Tony Stark casually swears. It was nothing out of the ordinary, until Steve Rogers responded sternly.
Shit!
Language.
It slipped out, totally natural, just good old Steve trying to keep it clean. But the second those words left his mouth, Tony locked in with his usual sarcasm. You could practically hear his smirk through the suit.
Wait a second. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language?
And from that point on, Cap's one comment turned into an eternal inside joke. Every time someone cursed or got snarky, Someone, especially Tony, would fire back with comments that would make Captain regret his words.
Find the scepter.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
It didn't matter how serious things got. Someone would jump in to cut the swear short with a dramatic phrase in Cap's honor.
You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone about
The
that?
handle's imprinted, right? Like a security code?
You can lead a war, lift Mjolnir, and save the world. But the second you act like the dad of the group, Tony Stark will make sure nobody ever lets you forget it. And that brings us to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's funny feud. But before moving on, comment below which roast was the best one so far. If Marvel had an award for most committed roast rivalry, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman would have retired the trophy by now. Their love-hate friendship is legendary. But when Ryan gets going, he doesn't just roast Hugh, he sets the whole stage on fire. In one of their many online feuds, Ryan straight up called Hugh Jackman a fraud in a mock video. And it didn't stop there.
Hugh Jackman is a fraud.
In another bit, Ryan casually referred to Hugh as an evil person during an interview. The host asked about their friendship, and Ryan, deadpan as ever, replied that he was not what people thought he was. It was so iconic that it even made the headlines.
Well, he's just an evil person. I mean, you guys have all been duped. I mean, you think that he's this benevolent ambassador to your country. People don't realize he's from Winnipeg, Canada.
But the real kicker came when Hugh tried to say Ryan inspired the new Deadpool and Wolverine costume.
When I called Ryan, literally on that phone call, he said, if we do this, it's got to be the yellow and blue. And I was like, yeah. In my head, I was like, yeah, let's try it.
Hugh went on record saying Ryan gave him the idea. Ryan's response was classic denial. The way he backpedaled while Hugh just laughed said it all. Even when they're praising each other, it turns into a roast.
I actually said lavender body stocking. I guess he heard yellow and blue superhero suit, but whatever, you know, 6 and 1 half.
And underneath all the insults, it's obvious. They love trolling each other as much as fans love watching it. Forget superhero battles. This is the real cinematic universe rivalry we never want to end. And Zendaya got her turn too, by going straight for Tom's childhood. In an interview, she roasted him by mimicking how he used to sing as a kid, in an overly dramatic, high-pitched voice.
Really explain it. I haven't got the words.
But you know what's funny?
Tom immediately cracked up, slightly embarrassed, as Zendaya kept going with the imitation, clearly enjoying herself. It was playful, brutal, and pitch-perfect, literally. Because leave it to Zendaya to bring up your childhood vocals, recreate them exactly, and make the whole room laugh while doing it. And finally, nothing wraps this list up better than Anthony Mackie constantly roasting Tom. When it comes to Marvel cast roasts, no one goes at it harder or funnier than Tom Holland and Anthony Mackie. It all started during press tours, where Mackie made it his mission to call out everything about Tom.
First time Tom Holland comes on a set, anything that goes on amongst the
Tom's a little all right? So let's start there.
He joked that Tom needed constant attention, took juice box breaks, and even showed up with multiple assistants like he was running a full production crew just for himself.
Ever since this movie come out, he has 2 assistants now. It's so much. It's get out of here, man.
Mackie painted Tom as the most high-maintenance guy on set, small, loud, and full of energy, which he couldn't control.
It's like he has to have a break every 2 hours for a juice box. That's how much of a brat he is.
One dude literally just has a backpack of juice boxes.
You really?
Bring Thomas juice box. He gets cranky when he doesn't have his sugar.
Tom didn't just sit back. He fired back with the perfect comeback, reminding Mackie that Falcon still didn't have his own solo movie. The crowd loved it, and so did Tom, who never missed a chance to twist the knife a little deeper.
I need to watch this movie.
You haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming? I haven't seen the Falcon movie. Oh no, there isn't one, sorry.
Mackie kept the roast going in interviews, saying he was surprised Tom was actually a good actor, one of those compliments that sounds worse the longer you think about it.
I was surprised Tom Holland was so good.
That feels
Remember that?
like a really backhanded compliment.
No, I was very surprised.
Their playful war of words never ends, and fans eat it up every time. Because in the Marvel universe, These two are the real tag team of trolling. There you have it. If you like this video when the Marvel cast roast each other to their face, you'll love this next video. So, click here to watch.